Hey there, everybody. This is Adam with Two Dudes Picking.
And I'm Gary with Two Dudes Picking.
And tonight we have got a great guest named Cayce, Carolina Hustler. But before we get started, all right, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight to Two Dudes Picking's live podcast. We have a special guest. His name is Cayce, known as the Carolina Hustler. How you doing, Cayce?
I'm good, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing
Most
well,
excellent.
thank you. Doing well.
We really appreciate you agreeing to come on our show tonight and to talk about what we're going to call your big leap of faith into full-time reselling. So let's look at the comments real quick. We got Denise Vulture, the dumpster diver, first here. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your support. We got a couple other watchers, just haven't written anything in the comments yet. Y'all go ahead and participate tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. And as we're getting started, Cayce, you know, we're kind of a small channel. Your channel is actually larger than ours, but let's take a few minutes, if you don't mind, and let's introduce yourself. So do you mind going first?
Definitely, man. Yeah. My name's Cayce. I go by Carolina Hustler here on YouTube. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and other platforms now. Yeah, I do the whole go around to garage sales and thrift stores and Goodwills and find stuff to flip on, platforms like eBay, mercari, Facebook Marketplace. And I'm here in South Carolina. I have a wife and two kids. And my wife's a full-time nurse, and two kids are 2 and 5, and live a pretty good life. I mean,
Got a handful with 2 and 5, man.
I was about to say, you have no free time, sir.
They've already knocked on the door. No free time. I ought to do a video one day on how this works with 2 kids. I mean, it's tough, but
Actually,
I love
not
them.
a bad idea.
Yeah, you're right. Might get some views, but it's okay. But yeah, I mean, it's tough, man.
I believe it. I don't doubt it one bit. So Gary, you gonna give you a little bit of intro of yourself, buddy?
Yeah, sure. For those who don't know me or haven't seen the show before, my name is Gary, and I've been selling on eBay for a number of years now, and kind of just do it as a, just kind of like a hobby, something to provide a little bit of extra money here and there to support, some of my habits, Jeeps, cigars, I hunt, so I have guns and things like that. And some of these hobbies tend to get a little expensive, and so the way to avoid taking that money out of the family budget is to figure out a way to make money on the side doing it. And that's kind of how I support some of my expensive hobbies. How about you, Adam?
Absolutely. I agree with that. I've been selling for about 7 years, maybe not quite 7 years. And Gary's my mentor, my master, if you will, the one who's taught me the way and how to wield that lightsaber. And it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. We do it part-time. We go when we're in the office, we'll go picking on our lunch break. But oh God, Gary, it's been like 8 months since we've been able to actually go picking together on our lunch break. God.
Yeah, I mean, technically, someone could almost have had a baby by now since the last time that we did that. I mean,
that's crazy.
It's depressing, isn't it?
It really is depressing, man.
It is depressing, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It is, but the point of the game is to earn that little bit of extra cash to put in our pocket to, I guess you could say, feed our hunger, and our habits and whatnot. And doing it part-time is good enough, but there are those out there who have, for whatever reason it may be, has made that jump into full-time reselling. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight with Cayce, because Cayce has done that. He has made that what I call the leap of faith. And there's reasons why I call it that. And we're going to find out tonight why in the interview with Cayce. But you know what? I'm going to set you up just a little bit here, Cayce. I do it to all the guests. There's a lightning round of questions that I did not share with you that I want to use to get to know you a little bit better. Okay. Are you ready for a quick lightning round? It's nothing difficult. It just helps us get to know your think process,
Yeah, right. Definitely, man. I'm ready.
All right. Ask away. Question number 1, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Diet Coke. Diet Coke.
Oh, specific.
Diet.
Was that because of the sugar?
I can't drink sugar, caffeinated, or anything sugar. I can't. Man, that's gotta be diet. But
There
Diet
you
Coke
go.
all day.
Diet Coke all day. All right. Would you rather read a book or watch the movie?
Watch the movie.
Same here. Guilty.
Yeah, I can't read a book. I want to read a book. I ain't got time to read a book. I mean, I'll listen and watch movies and watch YouTube. I can't read a book.
Reading
It
is
takes
one of those things where I mean, you have to be into it. You know, my wife
Yeah.
loves reading books, and I tell her I just don't have the sit down energy to sit down for hours to read a book. I can count, I think, on maybe one, maybe two hands, like books that I've read for recreation, not counting school or anything like that. You know,
Same here, man. I can
Yeah.
read a Dave Ramsey book, but I can't read
Yeah,
it for
there you go.
leisurely.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And Dave Ramsey makes small movie clips too. So
Oh, I watch it all day,
he's
man.
got a podcast.
Yep.
I
I
watch
hear
it
you.
every day.
Let's say hey to a few of our first-time guests out there in the chat. We got Don White, first time here. I really appreciate you stopping by, Don, so much. Thanks so much.
Yep.
We also got buddy Coupon and with Jermaine. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. You're the man.
He's not too far from me. I think he's like an hour from me.
Oh yeah.
Up in
There's
Columbia.
There's I'm not going to spoil. I'm just going to tease a little bit, everybody who's watching. This is going to be a 3-part series, and all 3 of our guests are from South Carolina. So I'll leave it there. You got to come back in 2 weeks to find out who the next guest is.
Oh, you got Harry 20 here?
I don't know.
He's from South Carolina.
All
South
right.
Carolina
Next question.
representation going on.
iPhone or Android?
Oh, man. I'll say iPhone because I have one,
But what?
I don't know, man. I'm not a techie person. I switched to iPhone because of my wife. And I feel like there's more features on the iPhone. And of course, I do all my videos with my iPhone. So I'm just going to stay with the iPhone. That's it.
Did you say you edit on your iPhone?
Everything's on the iPhone.
Good deal.
Yeah. With iMovie. I've tried some other stuff, man. Just iMovie's simple. I do the best I can. And then that's it. It's iMovie.
I got a phone. It's an Android, but it's got loads of RAM and lots of memory. And I found an excellent movie editing app. And that's where I do a lot of the YouTube editing right now. It's faster on this phone than it is on my computer that's about 2 years old, 3 years old. I can't remember. All right. We got Salvador, who has stopped by. Thank you for coming back, Sal. We really appreciate you dropping in. And look at here. How about that? My old pops has dropped in to say hello. Thanks, buddy. Thanks so much for supporting us.
Your dad is loyal. That's awesome.
Love the man. You could almost say he's part of the family.
I see the resemblance too.
He did look like you.
You see that?
Yeah, I can start to see the resemblance going on.
There you go.
That's your dad.
That's it, man. Spitting image. All right. You ready for the next one?
Shoot, I got
Steak
you.
or lobster?
Say that again.
Steak or lobster?
Oh, steak.
Steak. You like the turf of the surf and turf.
It's cheaper.
I hear that.
I'm cheap.
All right, last one. It's a big one. It really is going to let us know where Cayce stands. Okay, you ready?
All ears.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
There you go. There's the man.
Yeah. Who watches DC?
That's
a good question.
The Batman movies. Only the Batman movies.
Yeah. I'm a Superman fan, but not when it comes to the movies and comic books and stuff like that.
Yeah,
if they could actually make a good Superman movie, that would be awesome. You know, I mean, what's going on? Why can't that happen?
I don't know. Got to find the right actors.
Yeah, great character. Anyway,
no, Batman was really good. I had asked a previous guest. It was Buffalo Picker. Which Batman did he like best? And he chose Michael Keaton over Christian Bale. But I gotta admit, the Christian Bale trilogy,
was good.
One of the best directed Batman trilogies, hands down.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Dark Knight is the best comic book movie of all time.
Yeah.
It beats Endgame. It beats any Avengers movie. Anything in the Marvel universe to me. It is such a good standalone movie that it just blows everything out of the water for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, others. Endgame was good. Now, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
Did you finally see Endgame, Gary?
I did on the airplane.
Like a year later.
So, I watched it on an airplane. I had a long flight, so I was like, why not?
Oh, that wasn't in the past 8 months. Where are you going? I can't remember.
Oh no, this has been a while.
Oh, okay.
I was going cross country for something. I think I was going to Vegas.
Yeah. All right. So Cayce, he likes Marvel over DC. So I'm going to add one in here. Who's your favorite Marvel character?
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Solid.
Did you shed a tear? Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen
Yeah,
it,
if you haven't
way
seen
too
it,
late.
about 2 years now. So.
I shed a tear, man, but because
Did
that's what I would have done.
True. You know, there
Hmm.
are rumors and conspiracies that because of the whole multi-universe theory and storyboard that he could potentially still come back and play his own character again from a
Of
different
course.
part of the universe.
But you know, I've
I
heard.
mean,
Go ahead, Cayce.
I say Loki came back multiple times, so why not? Why
Might
not
as
Iron
well,
Man?
right?
Yeah. I've heard that I mean, I'm not even joking about this. I heard Tom Cruise may get cast as Tony Stark in a recast of it because of that.
What?
Yeah. Something weird. It was an
He's a
article
little.
that I read. Yeah.
Well, how short is Robert Downey Jr.? Because Tom
Not as
Cruise is
short as
pretty
Tom
short.
Cruise. Yes.
He can't replace Iron Man with anybody but Robert Downey. If it's somebody else, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah. He made the character. So
He did.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump into a few questions, Cayce, because we're really excited to know more about how you got started in the full-time reselling game. So the first thing I want to start with you is, can you tell us what you did before you were reselling full-time?
Sure can, man. So because literally I picked up dirty rags off the road.
Okay.
I worked for a company that was a uniform company, and I got what you call it was a route job where I drove a truck, and I picked up I delivered rags to restaurants, and then when they got done with the rags, they threw them in a bin that was dirty. I had to pick them up. I also threw down rugs, and I ain't mentioned the company. It's a uniform company, but I would drive a huge truck and deliver the stuff and pick up the old stuff and bring it back to the plant. And before that, I was an automotive person. I was an automotive manager, but it sucked the time out of me. So I'd work 60 hours a week and have no time. And I know you might have more questions, but long story short, on the answer to that was I jumped from there to this job because it was only 4 days a week, the delivery job, and I had more time to source, list, and build an eBay business. So I took a year and a half of doing that before maybe the next question you may ask, but a year and a half of doing that allowed me some time to build my business. So it was a delivery job, 4 days a week.
So you were reselling while you were still working at that delivery job?
Oh yeah. I was doing it harder then, preparing myself, and then before that job, I worked for a like an automotive place as one of the managers, and I was building it then too, but I had hardly any time, so I had to jump from there, and I had done that for it. I mean, that's what my whole career was automotive. I've been an automotive technician, and then I jumped into like the sales part of it, where I can manage a shop. So I managed a shop and did that for I think like 8 years, and it's just soul killing, man. Like I look looking at clocks all the time. Like biggest regret in life would be to sit there and work my whole 20s and early 30s for somebody. And but God has His own way of making you who you are. So I mean, I'm here for a reason now doing this, and I'm happy for it. And so this is my utopia. This is like what I always wanted since I was 19. I didn't think I'd ever find it.
That's awesome.
Did you if you don't mind talking about it, was it a scenario where you were able to make the decision on your own, or were you kind of your hand was forced?
Yeah, I was pushed over the cliff, but it was a happy day. I actually had it planned out. In August of this year, I was going to walk the plank until I quit. And, I was going to be done. Excuse me if y'all hear background noise. I got my kids yelling.
Totally understand, man. Totally
okay.
But they knew I was going to quit. But when COVID happened, I think April 3rd, they called me in the office and let me go with a severance package. And when I remember walking out, it was awesome, man, because it was almost like everybody was. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. You can keep rolling through.
Yeah, man. So it was almost like everybody was clapping for me when I got fired. They were like, "You did it!" I'm like, oh my god! Like they knew I had. They knew I had the capabilities, and they knew what I was doing. They had to let people go because of COVID. It killed the business, even though their model was very great. Like they didn't go away. This is the biggest uniform company in the world, by the way. Can't figure out the name. I just didn't call the name on the internet.
That's
here.
Okay. Yeah, we don't share our name of our company.
I think most people know. Yeah.
So I mean, it was a good day. So yeah, I got fired and I got escorted out. And they took my badge, they took all my uniforms, and said good luck. Took my insurance, and I went home. I was kind of panicked. I was like, "Daggone!" Because the week later, my wife, she's a nurse, because I know I had that to fall back on, and they were gonna lay her off. I'm like, well, "Damn!" Like I need income in this house. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
sales picked up, but it didn't pick up that great. I mean, I had a
Mhm.
hard time with doing YouTube videos, and that, I mean, I sure as hell wasn't monetized, and I still ain't monetized, but that's all right. Just, there's no income other than the eBay reselling and my wife's. But I was okay because, I mean, like if you were asking another question financially, I'd read Dave Ramsey 3 years ago. I'd
Mhm.
built up, a good net worth so I could survive at least over a year without working a full time job anywhere.
Mhm.
Both of us are Dave Ramsey fans.
Yes.
We've read it. We've been through some sort of class about it. We've put it into play in our own lives. So
Yeah.
totally feel
Man,
you there.
good deal, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
that's key, man. Especially in this business. If you're like a lot of
Mhm.
people ask what it take to be a full time reseller, I did a video on it, but you gotta do that guy's first 3 steps at least, or you're not gonna do it. You can't have no debt. You can't have. You gotta have 6 months to a year to
Yeah.
Mhm.
do this job. I mean, that's how I feel, and that's where I was at when I quit or got fired. I mean, I had substantial amount of cash in the bank prepared. So
And
So
I'll
how
tell you.
nervous were you?
say what now?
Go ahead, Gary, with your question.
Awesome.
Oh, well, just before you hop to that, I was going to say anybody who's, who hasn't heard of Dave Ramsey, go hop over to his YouTube channel, of course, after you get done watching this, and look up Dave Ramsey and Dave Ramsey's show and listen. And honestly, if you don't know, it will change your life. My wife and I, about 5, maybe 6 years ago now, we decided to do the Dave Ramsey plan. And I mean, we had a lot of debt, and I do mean a lot of debt, multiple vehicles, multiple credit cards, a mortgage, other loans, etc. And we paid it all off. And the amount of freedom that it gives you, not just in sort of what you would think of financial life, like you say, okay, well, I don't have any debt. That means that I can buy more things, or I can go on more vacations or things like that. That is an aspect to the freedom. But as Casey is alluding to here, it allowed you to step away from one job, get into what you really love to do. You're afforded
Hmm.
that freedom because of the steps that you take doing something like that. So
That's right.
I think in conjunction with what we're talking about tonight, I agree with you, Casey. I think you have to be debt free. You have to have a control over your personal finances, like you're running a business in your life, in your own household, before you can think about running a business that goes outside of your household. So,
That's right.
That's the
yep.
point. Yeah, that's dead on, pretty much.
So I have to assume you were nervous. I mean, you were, like you said, you were pushed over the cliff, but you were kind
Yeah,
of
I was.
anticipating it in the future anyway. So what
I
were
didn't.
you? How nervous were you?
I didn't get too nervous. I did go home that day, and I really didn't even work. I didn't put no work. I went and played golf, kind of trying to get my head right because it was kind of a shock. I mean,
I love
I,
that. Hey, Gary, we got to remember that if we ever get laid off, we kind of have to just meet up
We're
at the
going to play
golf
golf.
course.
yeah, go
Right.
drink a beer and play some golf, and just act like it didn't happen. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, my sales wasn't that great either, man. Like I was probably doing $2,000 a month in profit for consistently 4 months, and I was a little nervous. And then with my wife, I mean, you got COVID happening, shut down. I ain't got no goodwill to go to. I
Mhm.
mean, it
I hear
was.
you.
I mean, I've thought about changing my hustler name because I don't know if about it now, but I was
Don't change it
hustling.
now. You got a
Huh?
brand. Stick with it.
Thanks. So yeah, I think I don't know. I fought that out too. If you want to elaborate on that, but into the question, being nervous, man, I was nervous the day they stole my wife. She was gonna get laid off. I mean,
Oh, really?
I was really nervous. And another thing, man, like I was taking my eBay profits and sinking it into the stock market. So I didn't really get to buy on the crash too much. I did and I didn't. So when I was in, I just bought
Mhm.
Carnival Cruise Line, and I watched that
Mhm.
thing sink. I mean, I remember going to bed watching. I watch Jeremy's Financial Education channel. I don't know if you know that one.
Mm-mm.
And he was talking about TCL going bankrupt, and I'm sitting there looking like I had like 4 grand in that thing, man. I was like, oh god, I
Oh,
lose
man.
4 grand too. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
oh, I mean, I literally was losing sleep. So that part got me nervous. All the negatives with COVID and things happening, and it was a hard battle to kind of get over. But I hustled, I hustled my butt off, man.
Yeah, you
I
did.
yeah, I did, man. I was posting a lot of stuff on Instagram, but it still is a hustle, but I don't have near the pressure now. I don't know how many questions you got on it, but it is paid off, man. Like you full time eBay reselling, that pays way more than any of these jobs I've had. As
Mm-hmm.
far as my business model goes, that I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've worked out a financial plan where you save so much for the business, save so much for yourself, and then what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. As far as like how I'm generating profits or
Yeah.
sales.
Well, you can't take it all and put it in your pocket, right?
No, it's controlled. I do a lot of controlled inventory expense. Like of course I do a P&L every month. Like I work at Fire Center back in the day and I was managing it. So I took their business model kind of with me on how to do a P&L. I mean, it's kind of simple. I mean, I just take, all expenses subtracted from my gross sales and get a profit. And I mean, golf clubs are really good. Like I sell 80% golf clubs and the turnaround time on every sale is usually 3 months. So I really even building up the cash to buy the stuff. I've never gotten nervous about buying it because I always know it sells.
Yeah.
Like it sells very well for the last 3 years. So I knew that was, and then the pandemic. It's weird how things happen with the pandemic. There's more golfers now. There's more golfers there ever was. So it's kind of like when you saw like the Wii. I don't know if y'all remember the Wii took off a little bit on value during the shutdown.
Oh yeah.
Well, golf clubs did too, and they never went down. They actually went back. They went up. Like drivers I was selling 2 years ago, a year ago for $50, they're selling for 100, 150. So my profits went up.
That's
And my
excellent.
gross, yeah, so that helped out a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole business model I had was just, man, it still is working great. Like, I mean, the day's been great. I mean, it's probably like a $300-400 a day sales day for me right now. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been pretty good.
Well, let's say, there's always sort of the silver lining to everything, no matter how, bad something seems or a situation. Like you said, we have a pandemic. Your Goodwills are closed. You're not able to source as much. However, your profit margin goes higher because people are now taking up outdoor activities instead of
Yeah.
wanting to sit at home all the time. So, yeah, it's a weird give and take sometimes. There's a book out there. It's called Freakonomics. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's one of those I had to read part of it, but it's about how one thing shifts another thing. Yeah. So just where you think like for example, I mean, I'm not quoting from the book, but it could be that again during the pandemic, sales of RVs and campers have gone up because people want to get outside. They're actually ditching things like cable television and streaming services because they want to get outside. They've watched everything. What are you going to sell now? So
golf carts. Yeah, I bought golf carts, man. I swear to God, everybody in my neighborhood got a golf cart, including me. I even bought one. That's
the way to get around, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, the government gave everybody. I mean, look, I got 2 kids and a wife. I mean, we ended up with a decent stimulus check, and I still wasn't hurting, especially when that happened. Not to cut you off, but I bought a golf cart with the money. I was kind of bored, Take kids. I got a neighborhood that's awesome. I was like, ride around the neighborhood and pretty good.
If there's one thing I actually kind of hope comes out of this pandemic, is that people rediscover the outdoors and that there is a life outside of an electronic device. That's and again, in a weird silver lining to all of this, that there is some good that comes out of stuff like that. And, maybe we kind of reinvent ourselves a little bit instead of being glued to our devices.
That's tough. That's tough right there, what you just said. Because I just watched The Social Dilemma. Man, have you seen that?
I have not. No.
Oh, yeah, I need to see that.
Okay.
Is that on Netflix?
I think it's on Netflix. Like my wife, she would get.
That was a joke. Okay.
No, it really is on Netflix. I think, yeah. And like, I'm glued to my phone, and I have it gives me dopamine like nothing other. Mostly with just eBay. I don't really. I do like looking at YouTube a lot, see if the subscriber count went up or likes and stuff. But I mean, I know that's just that takes time. But I do get dopamine from looking at my eBay. And my wife notices it, and she was telling me like, "You're addicted to the phone." I'm like, "Yeah, it's my business. It's how I make money." And I watched the social dilemma.
Yeah.
And man, that crowd, what they're talking about, basically, it's got the CEOs and old workers from Facebook and Apple and Google, and they're letting you know on the secrets on how they lure people in, and it's just It was crazy, man. I was about
Mhm.
just quit. I was like, maybe I should just quit.
It's like a new drug addiction, isn't it, in a way, you
It
know?
really,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that's what it
yeah.
is. Drug addiction. Yeah,
Yeah,
The
the
likes,
yeah.
it's all about the likes. It's all about the thumbs up. It's all about the comments.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's what they're talking about, man. You get the dopamine because you got the likes and the comments, and
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I try not to.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Casey, finish
No,
your
you
thought.
good. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was cutting you off there. I was just gonna say that it's like, how many kids know how to make a YouTube video? How many kids know how to make a TikTok? How many kids know how to do all these things? How many can change the oil in their car? How many can
Mm,
change a
mm,
tire if
mm.
they get stranded?
Shoot, how
You
many can
know?
get up and make themselves breakfast?
And they
Yeah.
talk and they talk about that too in there, man. How the other Generation Z from 1996. I mean, they've been on a smartphone since they were in middle school, and dude, they're you just have to watch it because basically what you just said. I mean, they can't even change their
Mm.
oil. I mean, yeah, some of them probably can, but I
Mhm.
mean, look, my dad had me under a
Yeah.
car when I was 12. I mean,
Right,
and
right. Exactly.
yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking any younger generations. I get it, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's different. It's changed. I mean, I don't know what to do. I'm scared for my kids. I mean, my son won't see a smartphone that he can use. He won't be a Facebook person until he's in high school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll let him
Stick
do it in
with
high
that.
school.
Stick to your guns on that. I
Oh
completely
yeah,
agree.
definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah, my daughter's 14. I didn't let her get her first cell phone until it was a security issue because she was getting on the bus
Yeah,
by herself and she was getting home by herself. I felt the need that from a security
yeah.
perspective, I
So
needed the extra
Sure.
assistance. But until then, and then when she got a smartphone though, it was over.
Mhm.
She's wanting. I didn't let her get social medias.
that's good.
She
Yeah.
didn't get those until I don't even remember. It was more recent.
Mhm.
It's just the security part and I don't know, man. I just feel like it is bad for the youth because I mean you probably do it. Man, I drive out my neighborhood, man, to by the bus stops, and
Yeah.
every single kid has their phone out there in it.
Just
I'm like,
like this,
And none
right?
of them are talking to one another.
Yeah.
no. I'm
They'll
like,
text each
wow.
other like 2 feet away, but they won't actually pick their head up and have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm like, man, dude, they are in trouble, man. Like, y'all are so
God,
y'all
okay,
get it together,
I'm
man.
starting to feel old.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember going to the bus stop, and there was always that one kid that had a football that he used to bring, and you go play football out by the bus stop,
Waiting for
Yeah,
the
before the
bus.
bus came. You have a good 20 minutes or so. You can get a few throws in.
that's right.
I just feel like that's so lost nowadays. And then everybody will sit around and scratch their head about why people are so mad and why people are so on edge and all this. And I can tell you why they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get out, do things, go meet people, go make friends, real friends in
Yeah.
person.
yeah.
Have a
I'm all
conversation.
about it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch
All right.
that.
So Casey, I want to ask you a question about the full-time deal.
Yeah.
Um you were nervous, but how long did it take you to get over being nervous about that jump?
I
Or are
mean,
you still nervous?
well, I'm gonna lie to you guys. I do suffer a little bit of anxiety since then. I don't know what's about. Even my coworker or my old boss, we went and had lunch the other day,
Yeah.
and he's like a big boss from Midas. And I was talking about my anxiety issues, and I don't know what it stems from, but I don't know. As far as the money is not making me nervous. Like there's more money than ever has been, but
That's
that's
good.
not. Yeah, but that's just like I tell him to do because he does well financially. I was like, I don't get it. Like I still like the nervous part. I don't say nervous. I got over that to answer the question in probably a day. But then my wife, when she was on the fence, I was nervous for about a week.
Mhm.
But I mean, I kind of had a lot of confidence knowing I could make this business work. I've been doing it for 3 years. I mean, I know how to hustle my area. I mean, I've been up and down the streets of South Carolina. I knew what was here. So I live in a very wealthy area. I'll find crab on the
Does
side.
that explain all your golf clubs? The wealthy area?
Probably doesn't
It,
hurt.
you know what, man? You think that, but not really.
Hmm.
Okay.
It that's like that's weird because just a while ago, man, before I went and sold a golf. Like this is how my day works. Sometimes I
Okay.
went and sold some golf clubs, and a guy paid me $25. I walked down to my Goodwill, that's like 2 miles from my house, and this I live on a decent side of the neighborhood, but there's another side that's not so decent. It's not like a high income area. And there's a bag with clubs in it. It's a Callaway bag. It's the one I just posted on Instagram for $20. And I literally just went home, listed one of the golf clubs, and sold the golf club. One golf club for $25, and I'm already in a profit. So I have like $170 worth of inventory just, and it's on the other side of town. Like not bad side, but it's not like
I got you.
$1 million houses. But there is a lot of wealthy houses in neighborhoods around here.
Mhm.
So I mean, but it's hit or miss. I mean, even like so. I mean, my part of South Carolina is split up a little bit. I don't know if you ever noticed, like Charleston has that bridge. You remember
Okay.
the bridge?
Yeah.
When you cross the bridge, you're in a wealthy area. So my buddy, we resell together, kind of like you and Gary.
Yeah.
He is on YouTube, and now he made a YouTube video one time. Real great guy, and he is my neighbor, and he's the one who taught me this how to
Mhm.
do golf clubs. So we split up our region, our area, and he'll take the rich side, and I take the more wealthy side of my area, or
I
the
got
other
you.
side of, like we call it Somerville. He takes Charleston, and it's 50-50, and sometimes I'm coming out winning on inventory, or is the price to ratio on what I found.
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't maybe 3-4 weeks ago. I hit up a neighborhood and I found. I swear I made between $3,000 and $5,000 between the hours of 6 and 10. And he had went to rich neighborhoods and he didn't even find $500.
Wow.
Wow.
So that I don't feel like that's a. I feel like the geographics and demographics of areas when it comes to that is all kind of luck, unless and
Mhm.
if you put the skill part in, it's only because you know the
Which
neighborhood itself. Yeah, or in that
Mhm.
too, but you know what to look for. Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, I can't go to a neighborhood and spot out every comic book and video game, but I could spot the golf club a mile from my destination. So if you didn't grab it, then I'm gonna grab it.
yeah.
I
You
can,
can smell them.
I can
That's right.
smell them.
You can
It's crazy.
smell them.
I tell my dad all the time. I was like, I can't believe I know so much about golf clubs. I mean, I grew up around golf a little bit, but I wasn't like I didn't
Mhm.
play it in high school. I didn't even know I didn't know what half the stuff was 3-4 years ago.
Right.
Mhm. I was gonna ask that if you had like any kind of golfing background, like you played in college or you played in high school or something like that, but you just answered that. So,
I
uh,
wish I did.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, why did I choose a sport that tore my body up? Why didn't I just learn to play golf? Like, I
yeah. I
could
mean,
have been doing that till I'm 90, right?
well, that isn't exactly the way I think because I ended up going to college on a cross country scholarship
Mhm.
because I was running. But damn, that sucked. I mean, who wants to run 3-5? I was running 60 miles a week sometimes.
How
That sounds
big
like
was the
work.
bear that was
That-
chasing you?
That's right. That's right.
Man, I wish you'd have ate me
The
or
only
hurt me.
reason why I would run, man.
Mm.
It sucks, man. Like, I mean, running's fun. Yeah, well, if golf is fun, like back to what he was saying,
Mhm.
man. I regret not playing golf in college and high school. But I mean, I didn't know this until
Yeah.
I was 31, I think. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
34. So I was 31 when I started the golf business.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was going to ask, like, going on the topic of golf, since you mentioned it. So, what do you look for in golf clubs? Like, I mean, is age is obviously a factor because I know the technology changes over the years.
Yeah.
Brand name obviously makes a difference, I'm sure. But I mean, what else do you look for when it comes to picking out golf clubs?
Um, I mean, it's so hard to really. It ain't really hard. The the variety out there is unbelievable.
Hmm.
The golf club game is better than the video, you know,
Hmm.
video game, whatever.
Yeah.
Because just about every golf club does sell, and the ratio from how much you can pay for one thrifting to how much it sells is awesome. So, what I'm looking for most of the time, I mean, usually, I mean, the variety is big. It's vintage, new stuff, 90s stuff, 80s stuff, the stuff made with hickory shafts.
Hmm.
It's Callaway, it's Tommy Onwire, the Dolphin brands, Wilson Staff.
Hmm.
I mean, there's thousands, and the best crazy part about it is I have it in my head to know the comp already on it without looking it up. Well, I
Hmm.
know kind of what I'm getting. Like I don't have to sit there and look it up. I mean, there's iron sets, there's woods and drivers, there's putters, there's chippers. I mean, I could write a book on it. I
Yeah.
mean, and it is a money making unbelievable. Like I could do this all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the easiest money I've ever made. Like I hate video game stuff. I hate going to yard sales and picking up a game system lot because I have time down even work. I just got
Yeah.
like three Wii's from a yard sale and two of them work. Profit margin is terrible. The
Yeah.
games, thank God, one of them had Wii Sports with it. I'll sell that for $20.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, I mean, I pick up. I mean, it's in my last video. Even though I did find Mario Kart Wii
Yeah.
new for $2. Still ain't
That was
sold.
awesome.
That was pretty good. I don't know, man. I almost feel like I ruined the thumbnail with that. I lost like 5 subscribers when I put that video out, but I gained 5. I was like, man, it's like, I don't know. Did I got a bunch of golfers looking? I mean, there was golf clubs in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then even, I'll tell you what.
Maybe you could have covered up the game with a question mark and a white
I should have done
blur or something.
something.
Made it more of a surprise.
You're right. I should have, because I did one like that. Was a surprise with the Walkman.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing, but I don't know. But like that in that video, you watching the first segment of the video, I pick up a bag of clothes and it has a Ping ISI set in there that's currently on eBay right now for $120. And then I mean the whole bag was probably worth $200 and I picked it up for $15. So it was easy. I just want to get rid of it. And that's usually
how old were those Pings? They look kind of old.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. Those Ping people, Ping is really good on old stuff. Those Pings are probably 1990. I want to say 95.
Yeah.
95 or 96 because they came out with a set called Ping I2. That's very popular. You see Ping I2 stuff, even the single irons. But that one came, I think, afterwards. It's called Ping ISI. And you see there's a colored dot in the center of it.
Yep.
I mean, it really don't matter what dot color it is. They're still going to sell, but it was a blue dot, which is called the lie. So Ping, I don't want to get too much in golf because it will bore people, but the dots represent a lie. The lie angle of the golf club itself. But long story short, it's going to sell.
It's going to sell, even though it's what, 20-something, 30-something years old now?
Yeah, man. I mean, I got some 20-year-old Ben Hogan irons right now with a guy just offered me 200. It was one of my best finds in the last few months. But and Ben Hogan's another name. He's a lot of his older stuff.
Yeah.
And I went to this yard sale and this lady had golf clubs everywhere, and one guy had already picked up one club, and I knew everything there within 30 seconds. I picked everything up, threw it on the table, and I said, "I'll give you 60 for all." She said yes, and the guy was like, "Man, I'm glad I bought this one club for E-Cane." And when I got home and retailed everything, I think I had $1,000 in 6. I don't say that much. Maybe it was about $700 in golf clothes with $60.
Wow.
That's 10%.
Yeah, wow. Now more. Yeah, and they sold too. Like I'm the whole lot's. I'm down to that last $200 set of golf clubs. I sold one for $250, and 2 or 3 golf clubs. I think went for anywhere from $50 to $80. So,
wow,
you've definitely hit your niche. Like you knew it going in, and you just stuck with it, and that's what you should do. I think every reseller should do that. Yeah, you can, venture out of your comfort zone a little bit to learn more and grow your, learn from it. But you got to stick with your core, what I call your bread and butter, right?
You do. Yeah, very true, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that, man. I've tried to branch out, and I do sell other things, but I get very nervous about it because it's not my specialty.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a lot of Harry Tornado videos, and I love Josh. But I see a lot of stuff he sells, and I get so nervous, man. I'm like, man, I don't even want to buy. I don't want to buy a pallet.
Yeah. How far out on that limb do you want to go? Is the question you got to ask. $8, $10. Okay, if it's worth $100, but $50 if it's only worth $100.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there always I picked up a pair of boots off the side of the road in my neighborhood a couple weeks ago, and I sold them for $200. I didn't know nothing about them. I just went off of Soulcom. I'm sitting there like, God, please give me positive feedback or something. But I haven't heard anything.
That's so good.
Yeah, or I sold a router, man. I found it on the side of the road, brand new in the box.
A Wi-Fi router?
Yeah.
Or a cool router?
I don't even know, man. I just looked it up. I'm not good with the router stuff, man. That's why I don't mess with them. But it was a AT&T U-verse router.
Yeah.
Sold for $50 and brand new in the box.
Wow.
Okay. That's cool. That's probably gonna be one of those AT&T specific modems that you get when you sign up for their service.
Yeah.
If you own it, then you don't have to pay them a monthly fee for hardware.
Right.
Do you sell strictly on eBay?
Yeah, 99%. I did just open up a mercari account. I
Okay.
wanted to try it out. My wife's a part-time reseller, and she's tried Poshmark, mercari,
Mhm.
and something else. But I did mercari, and I put one pair of shoes on there and sold them, and so this is great. So I threw like 15 other shoes on there because I sell shoes too. That'd be my second niche, however you say it. And I haven't really seen much action. Most of everything's on eBay.
Okay. So how long has it been you've been on mercari? Because my next question kind of gauges on the how much experience you got with mercari.
Not much, probably like 2 weeks.
Okay. You
Yeah,
haven't had time to come across some of the low ballers, from what I call it,
she
because
might have
they
lowballed
are
me
out there.
on mercari.
Oh yeah.
Man, I thought eBay was bad.
Oh no. Low
Hey,
Mercari is. I actually 2 days ago I thought I'm ready to just take everything off of Mercari and close the account. I'm
really?
ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What
Hey,
I've decided to do though is just quit. When people offer me something low, I'm just gonna quit responding.
yeah, I do.
No, if it's a reasonable offer, I'll entertain it and I'll have a conversation with them. But when they cut my price in 50% and they want to offer me 50%, I'm just not even going to respond. It's the effort of responding to every single one you get is ridiculous.
Man, I didn't think mercari. I don't know eBay is that bad, but I do the same thing you do, man. If I counter you and you're gonna still counter back a little more, I just let it go. I'm like, dude,
Mhm.
I'll sell it. I don't care. Happens all the time. Most time, I don't even. I tell people all the time that we talk with resale. They're like, well, I'll look at an offer, but I won't take the offer until it expires almost because I want to see if
Yeah.
it's still and if it's been in the store. If it has been in the store for 3 days, half time I ain't gonna try. This will go for the asking price.
Yeah.
I've never had.
My
Oh, go
biggest
ahead, Adam.
pet peeve is something I just listed and it's a hot item. I know it's going to
Mhm.
sell. And within a couple of hours, somebody lowballs me by 50% or more. And it's like I just listed it, right?
Mhm.
That's messed up. What
And I'll
what
tell them.
I
Say
wish
that
I
again.
mean I know it's our interview. I mean, what is something y'all sell? Like what do y'all think?
I sell men's clothes. I sell shoes. I sell electronics.
Yeah,
Gary, what you got?
I'm pretty much along the same lines. I mean, if I can find it at Goodwill or thrift store and I think I can sell it for a profit, I'll pick it up.
Yeah,
I'm
Gotcha.
really not bound to it. It's weird sometimes what you do find. I love military gear because military gear always sells. Somebody's out there looking for it specifically. And we live, just a few miles away from Fort Benning, Georgia, which is like one of the largest military installations.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's such a lot of turnover of gear that comes in. I mean, what would you say, Adam? There's like at least a quarter of the rack that's dedicated to military uniforms,
yeah,
you
all
know,
the time,
all the time
like
there,
nonstop.
so you can find all kinds of stuff like that. And sometimes certain uniforms are actually even better because of who makes them. Not all of them are created equal, but I look for a lot of stuff like that, watches, sunglasses, anything like that. I do love to find sunglasses. I love finding Oakleys and stuff like that at Goodwill. And one thing is that the
Yeah.
military actually issues Oakleys.
Oh, I
So
was gonna say you're finding Oakley's at Goodwill. I never find
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yep, that's why, and
That's
that's why,
amazing.
yeah, because the military
Yeah.
issues Oakleys to its soldiers, and so you'll find, in the hard case, some that aren't even used. It's just that it was turned in with a big box of stuff, and there it is. And so all this gear that got turned in, because they don't have to turn it back in whenever they discharge or anything like that. So if they don't want it, they'll just donate it off. Or if they're moving, they can only carry so much stuff with them, so they have to get rid of some stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends up at Goodwill a lot.
yep,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hmm.
That's
yep.
good
Military
stuff.
gear. Um, we have every now and again I dangerously find some vintage stuff, and I say it that way because I don't know vintage, but I
Hmm.
hear it all the time,
Hmm.
right?
You mean
So
as far
Yeah.
as
that's
like vintage like toys or
yeah,
what you mean
whatever.
anything vintage?
Yeah,
If it's
clothing,
older
that,
than the
yeah.
year 2000, I consider it
Yeah,
easily
that's
in the
true.
vintage category.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And if it's got a date stamped on it, that helps me That's like the only thing I have to go by. If it doesn't have a date stamped on it, I'm like, I have no clue. I think it might be vintage, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I did pick up a pair of vintage Levi's the other day, and I had to run it past another reseller that's big on vintage. And I was like, dude, can you just tell me, did I find something new? He was like, oh, yeah, definitely from the 90s. Go with it.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. Vintage Levi's are good. I've never picked a pair up, but I've heard that's pretty good stuff. I mean, sounds good.
I found a Beavis and Butthead T-shirt one time that was a vintage one from the 90s. MTV had a date on it and everything like that, and it was the vintage one. And I think I sold it for like $50. Wow. And I'm like, I remember watching Beavis and Butthead. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Everybody still likes that.
I found this a couple years ago in the Goodwill. I didn't even know to look for this. I just know it looked cool. It was a Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge shirt.
That's cool.
Single stitch shirt.
Nice.
And I picked it up. I was like, dude, this shirt's got to be worth something. And I looked it up on eBay and in the line, and I about crapped myself. It was a $300 shirt.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible.
Yeah, I showed it to the girl behind me, and she's like, you got to be kidding me. Of course, I went back over there and was like, I'm looking at vintage T-shirts down.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what else did they donate? Yeah.
I didn't know about vintage T-shirts. I just thought the shirt was cool because it was tied. I was like, that's a cool looking shirt.
And Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I'll finish. You're good.
I was just going to say, it's like, whenever you're going through a rack like that and you find that one big ticket thing, and now you're like, crap, now I got to look through everything, Yeah. It's there's got to be one more in here.
There's got to be another one.
I don't go through clothes racks. I don't go flip. I occasionally will, but I don't. I focus on just three different places in a Goodwill, and I'm out. But it was just standing there. I don't even get it. It was in the very end, very flamboyantly showing itself. I'm like, man, that's got to be worth something.
It makes you wonder who picked it up and decided not to get it and just put it right back at the end of the rack.
Hey, man.
Somebody didn't know they had fire sitting in their hand.
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy. Well, that's excellent, Cayce. I appreciate you filling us in and letting us get into a little bit, a little personal about your the past and you jumping into the full-time reseller gig. And one of the more fun, it's so much fun that we have the commenters playing along with us. We're going to play a new game tonight. If everybody's ready for a new game. Y'all ready for a new game? All right.
Let's play.
Here we go. All right, we got a new game tonight. It's called Checkout. It's the checkout game. And yes, I did steal it from The Price is Right, but that's okay because we're going to try to play it ourselves for the very first time tonight.
Yeah, and we're not making money off this, so
we're not.
Yeah, this is not sponsored by Jeep. This is, all this.
Sponsored by Jeep and that cigar you're smoking.
Yeah, exactly. I wish Jeep would sponsor me.
we would podcast every single night if they did.
Yes, we would. Yes, we would.
Oh, right. And so we're going to quickly go over the rules. And I have picked out 4 items from eBay. These items have sold, and I've covered up the price of which they sold for. Okay. What you have to do is you have to guess what price it sold for. All right. I'm going to narrow it down for you. Yeah. The items are between $20 and $40. And the reason why I did that was because I didn't want to go way off base here. I wanted, just to help you guys, the players out. Yeah. It's between $20 and $40. You're going to write your price down on your post-it, on your little pad that you got, or your dry erase board, or whatever it is you have. Gary, what you got? You got a pen and paper?
I got my Sharpie here, and then I've got my really awesome James Bond 007 moleskin pad that I bought. So I'm a huge Bond fan, and so when I saw that, I had to buy it. So
all right. And Cayce, did you get a dry erase board? What you got?
Hey man, I got this big old.
Oh, look at that! He came ready to play.
I don't know if we're gonna lie. I was like, oh, where'd that thing go? I just cleaned my office, kind of.
Excellent. So I'm going to show the item. I'm going to cover up the price. You're going to guess what the item went for, what it sold for, and you're going to write it down. And then I'm going to ask you to tell me the price. But at the end of all 4 items, we're going to add up your guesses. The closest one to the actual prices of all 4 items wins. Whether you go over or under, the closest one wins. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm not going to reveal each individual price until we've gone through all 4. All right, so let's begin. We'll share the screen. Here, look at there. It's a Mario Kart game.
Kind of feel like I'm at a disadvantage on this first one.
Because that's just it's like my thumbnail.
Right.
Yeah.
Mario Kart game complete. That means it has the manual inside and the disc and the case. It's in good condition. It's pre-owned, so that helps you understand how much it may have gone for. And this one is sold. And I want to know, what do you think did it sell for? Cayce, since you're the guest. Now, Gary, you're not allowed to change your answer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Go ahead and write down the price that you think it sold for. And you ready, Cayce?
Yeah, yep, I'm ready.
All right. How much do you think that this game sold for?
Hey, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
It's got shipping on it?
No, we're just going for the price of the thing itself.
Gotcha. I think you read that.
Let's see. You got $28.99. Gary, what's your price?
I did, see if I can put it up there, $35 even.
$35 even. All right. All right. The next item, look at there. It is a new bomb tech grenade 56-degree
I don't even know.
sand wedge.
I've never even found that club, man. I've never sold a bomb tech club.
Have you ever heard of bomb tech?
Yeah, man. It's like there's a story behind that, man. It's a guy. Long story short, a college kids got this guy and they made a golf club and it took off.
Yeah.
I've never found. They're very rare.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this sells for.
I've come across a website before, but I've never bought one.
God, I have no idea, man.
Same here.
New bomb. Remember, it's between $20 and $40.
It's new.
New bomb tech grenade 56-degree sand wedge.
Between 20 and 40.
All right, Gary, when you're ready, let me know.
All right, I'm going to write it down now.
Maybe I'll tell you. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah. Reveal. All right. So Cayce says $40 even.
I've got $27 even.
$27. All righty. All right. Those are pretty good guesses. See, I know the prices.
Right.
All right. So
I don't know what that one was.
The third item, Gary, this might come a little bit more your way.
I do like 511 stuff.
We have a pair of 511 tactical. See, I did the Wii game and I did the golf club, and I honestly felt maybe I'm going a little bit too much in Cayce's direction. So I threw in some tactical pants here. 511 tactical cargo pants, rip stop, mind you. They are pre-owned. I don't think size makes a difference, but they're 34-30.
They're in my size. You said these have sold already, right?
Yes, these have sold already.
The dog on it.
All right. So 511 tactical cargo pants in the rip stop, and they're size 34-30. Write down the price you think it went for. We got a couple of guessers down in the comments. eBay addicts. That may have been on the
But that, man, I can't go change it now. eBay addicts.
Yeah. No, you can't change it now. All right. So Cayce, you got $25 for the pants. What did you got, Gary?
I've got, if you can see it, $34.99.
$34.99.
That's kind of right. It's $24.99, $35. So kind of right there.
All right. I've got your guesses written down. eBay addicts. I think that might have been his guess for the golf club previously.
Gotcha.
Dave Diggs has joined us now. Thank you, Dave, for showing up. Appreciate you, buddy.
What's up, Dave?
And okay, so the last one is a FootJoy polo shirt, size 2XL, regular FootJoy. I don't think there's anything special about it. It's just a regular FootJoy golf polo shirt, size 2XL. It does have a pocket on it that might go up a little bit, might not. You get to decide.
Pockets on it.
You get to decide if you think it messes with the price. Cayce, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, what you got for that last one?
There you go. I can't do my camera.
$15. And Gary, what do you got for the last one?
$23.99.
$23.99. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back up to the top,
Like
all the way to the top. And I'm going to first show you what each item went with. And while I'm going through this, guys, do you still have your prices all written down?
I think I remember. I did erase them all.
I got
Okay.
mine, but yeah.
Okay. So I will I'll try to do two jobs at once here. But I'm going to show you what it really went for and then the total, and then we'll total yours up and see who got closer, okay?
Oh,
First, the Mario Kart game. It sold for $29.95. All right. The second was the Bomb Tech 56-degree sand wedge, and it sold for $39.95. The third item, the 511 tactical pants, sold for $22.49.
I should have bought those, man.
And the FootJoy golf polo shirt went for $24.99.
Dang, you got me on that one.
And so that total came to $117.38. All right. So let's see, $28.99 plus 40 plus 25 plus 15. Cayce had $108.99. And Gary, you had 35 plus 27 plus $34.99 plus $23.99 for a total of $120.98. And the winner is Gary, because the total was $117.38, and your Gary, your total was $120.98. The difference of roughly $3.5.
That was pretty close. That's
Cayce,
good.
you had it within about $10.
Yeah,
That's tough though. I mean, some of those items are tough. Like again, the golf club. I mean, I shot in the dark on that at $27. So
I did kind of. Yeah, I kind of knew that golf club. I was surprised it would not even be higher than 40. Somebody I think was priced that, because I was like, Bomb Tech, his stuff sells very good. Yeah, and I've never even got my hands on one. The Mario Kart one I knew, but these clothing items, I was not there on that. Especially those pants.
You were close on the pants. You were close.
Yeah,
closer than I was. Yeah,
way off on that FootJoy shirt.
Yeah, that got you right there.
Yeah, that's what got me.
Say I sell a lot of FootJoy. Anytime I see anytime I see FootJoy shirts, I pick them up. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell a success story real quick on that. And if you ever see it, go pick it up. And it relates directly to golf. So one time I went into a Goodwill here, and there's a couple of major tournaments that are actually played here close to Auburn, Alabama, where I'm at. And there's the Barbasol Championship and a couple other ones that are actually, from what I understand, they're PGA events. So they get played at the Robert Trent Jones courses that are here. Well, I went into the Goodwill and I saw a bunch of FootJoy shirts on the rack, that were just there, and they were brand new. It looked like they just had the tags cut off of them, whatever they were. No signs of wear on any of these, right? And I said, all right, there was probably 20 shirts on the rack. There was some long sleeve actually too, and short sleeve. And so I said, well, it's a FootJoy shirt for $4. I know I can resell them for about $25 a piece. So I'll pick them up anyway. That's going to be pretty good. Well, the cool thing is on the sleeve, they had it was a patch, and it said Titleist on the sleeve.
I knew he was going to say that. Yeah.
Yep. And it said Titleist on the sleeve. And I was like, I wonder what that means. What does that mean? Right. And so
that means money.
It did mean money. It did mean money. Yep. And so
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
The funny thing is that this was years ago. And so the amount of money I had to spend at the time, I think I bought 10 shirts, if I recall correctly. I should have bought the entire rack. No, and there was even jackets there too.
I think those are tour, I think those are like tour issue or something when they have the.
That's exactly what they are. Yeah, they were tour issue. Only, you could only get them if you were on the tour or associated with it or whatever. And that's probably how they ended up there, they were extras. And so, I went ahead and I flipped those over for almost $750 within a week. Yeah,
Wow.
and I was stunned.
That was amazing. And that's another thing I probably should look at more. And I should look at it more. I mean, FootJoy shirts. I wouldn't even thought when you did that. $15. I'd pass by clothing, even FootJoy clothing. I will look at the shoes. I do, but there are some FootJoy shoes out there that are big money. But the Tightwave, you see that black Titleist
Yep.
emblem on anything. I pick them up in the bins on hats. I just pick them up, with 20 cents. They're still worth $10, $15, even more out.
Absolutely.
They
And
are.
that's the thing is I haven't found any of those shirts since. I
Man.
think I just lucked upon it that day. They may have just put them out. But yeah, that was sort of my one success score that I can always point to. It says, I think Adam, I even told you about it. I think this is before I got you into it. I was telling you
right
about it.
after one of the two.
Yeah, and I said, dude, this is easy. This is easy money,
Easy money.
So,
crazy.
Yeah, it's probably the story that got me involved.
Probably so.
Now we did find 3 Titleist Pro V1 hats, the golfing hats, FootJoy. Those sold pretty good too.
Those do. I have like a pile of them, man. I need to do something with it, sell them. But
Yeah.
Well, I want to show y'all real quick. eBay Addicts played along. He said his total was $115, and he had you both smoked.
Man, that's cool.
Man, he probably had his phone, man. Come on, I know you. Get in the car. I'm just kidding.
Good job, eBay Addicts.
Yeah, that's nice. Good shot, man. Good shot.
I'm trying to remember his name. It's terrible because I was just on his live with him, man. He does a live with everybody. And that's pretty cool. I always like listening.
That is excellent. All right, everybody. So we got another segment that we love to play, and it's called Hot or Not.
Hot or Not.
That just me up every time.
Yeah, we totally paid a lot of money for that.
That was
that'd be pretty good, man. That's some good stuff there.
Oh, that's just fun stuff right there. That's all that is. So this is a segment where we like to share with the audience a hot item that we recommend that you look out for, also known as a BOLO, or a not item. Now, the not item could be something that used to be a hot and is now a not necessarily something you should never look out for. And to get us all started, I will turn it over to Gary to share his hot item for the week.
So my hot item is going to be, it's more like a collection of items, but it falls into certain clothing brands and everything like that. And it's going to be anything related to hunting right now. Hunting season is about to kick off in a lot of places. The weather's getting cooler. There's actually in Georgia, bow season for deer has already started. Gun season is not too far behind it. In Alabama, it's going to kick off in November. There are plenty of people that are gearing up right now for hunting season. So if you find hunting gear, and here's the thing, when it comes to hunting gear, you have to really, really kind of look at what it is. If it's a store brand, like Academy Sports and Outdoors has a store brand called Magellan. Depending on what it is, if it's a really high dollar item of Magellan, then sure, pick it up. If it's like a shirt or something like that, you could probably bypass it. It's not probably going to go for a whole lot of money. But there are certain brands out there, like Nomad is one of them, that's really, really big right now as far as hunting goes. It's sort of becoming more of a premier brand of hunting. Scent Lock. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Anything Realtree, especially I'll also say vintage Realtree. People love finding old Realtree, and the way you can tell it's vintage Realtree is it kind of looks like the first runs that they tried to do, where they tried to make a hat look like the forest. All right, so some of it's a little bit rougher than it is, with today's camo and all that. But I would definitely say that anything related to hunting, go ahead and pick up as the hot of the week.
Excellent. What would you say about Drake? Is Drake a good hunting?
Drake is another good one. Yeah, any of these premier hunting brands. And if you don't know what some of these are, just go out there and just do a Google search for hunting apparel, and you'll see how much some of this stuff costs. Some of the stuff that's like, that hides your scent, especially, like I said, Scent Lock. There's a few other brands that do that. There's another brand called Sitka, Sitka. I picked up one time, it was basically like a vest. It was like even just a half, like a sleeveless vest It was like a puffer vest, and I think I turned it over for this is another success story. I ended up turning it over for like $120 for the vest. When I got it home, I paid $10 for it. When I got it home, I was like, why are these pockets so puffy? And I reached into the pockets, and there's a pair of Sitka gloves in the pockets. And I ended up turning the gloves over for another 40. So, you know, that's one of those things that, you know, always check the pockets.
Oh, yeah, always check pockets.
Always check. I found money in the pockets before of some of
Sometimes I'm
things.
guilty of checking
Yeah.
the pockets in the store.
Yeah, exactly. Actual cash. Do you still buy it if you find cash in the pocket? I do.
Oh yeah.
I do. So, but yes, anything related to hunting, big hunting brands, I would go for that.
Excellent. Hunting brands. All right, everybody. Look out for the hunting brands. We got Marrakesh back tonight. Thanks for joining us. Under Armour has some cool hunting jackets.
Yeah, they
Yes,
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
and I think in the hunting category, Under Armour is still a good brand
Absolutely
to look
it
out
is.
for.
Absolutely it is.
Cayce, you got a hot for us tonight?
I'm not. That's not really. I don't know if it's a big secret, man, but hot right now. Besides golf clubs, because I know so much about golf clubs, but I've been looking for weight stuff, like anything weight related, and bicycles. I pick up bicycles. I know that's a hot commodity, but yeah, anything weights, I pick those up, throw them in the truck at the yard sales, and I flip them very fast. Like I put on the marketplace, or if I get the dumbbells, like even like the neoprene ones or anything weight related, it's just very fast. Nobody wants to go back to the gym. Everybody wants to work out at home. So I mean, anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15, they're selling pretty good. I mean, I don't know if that was like a big secret there, but there's definitely on the hot list.
It's a good
Yeah.
tip. Very good tip.
My brother-in-law, when we go to yard sales, he ends up picking up the weights, and that's mostly because I don't. I knew the weights could be good, but I don't want to personally. I don't have anywhere to store them or ship them. I have a little lady who comes to my from the mail lady who comes to my door to pick up my stuff, and I would feel so bad for her if she picked up a 70-pound box full of weight.
You can find like the 2 10-pound neoprene weights and go wheels out time for $5, $6, $7. I mean, they're going for like $40 or more on eBay.
Well, would you recommend picking up brand new weights at Walmart for $1 a pound?
I don't do much retail arbitrage, so
I mean, just at $1 a pound, are they selling for more than $1 a pound right now? Still,
if you can find them, because that's the thing, nobody can find them, so people will buy. Like I don't have to put them on eBay; I just put them on the marketplace. Like I have people driving miles to come get weights. Like they can't find them. I'm sure the demand.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, you're good. You're fine. I was saying the demand's up and the supply is down. Once that comes back, it's not going to be that way. But right now, I had the rich people driving 30 miles to my house to pick up secondhand weights, and I know they got money to buy new ones. They just can't. So,
yeah. Every now and again, I found some barbells, at Walmart. I just didn't pick them up because I'm not in the weight. I'm not in the weight game. So.
Yeah, I'm not in the weight game, but I loaded a whole entire home workout system back of my truck at a yard sale the other day. I mean, I paid $50 and I think I made like $200-300 just flipping on the marketplace in cash.
Yeah. Gary, what you got again?
I was just going to say, it's so expensive to ship weights these days, especially. I mean, I remember back in my 20s, years and years ago, when, weight was 50 cents a pound. I mean, if you were at 50 cents a pound, you were actually probably on the high end, dumbbells and all that never used to. And then this massive fitness revolution just took over. And then everybody is trying to buy weights and everything like that. And now, $1 a pound is sort of the standard of what you buy in the store for. And anytime you can offer a deal on that, I mean, it's essentially, okay, I just found 20-pound dumbbell at Goodwill, so you're going to be able to flip that for $20-30 because of what it is. And somebody will drive.
I think what Casey's saying is they're going for closer to $2 to $3 a pound on eBay right now.
I mean, or even in your local area, I mean, they're going to come get them. I mean, I literally one day had to take it. So I got a weight bench with maybe 80 pounds and I put it on Marketplace and I had, I think 50 people message me within 5 hours where I just took, it was at night. That was a mistake. I took the listing hours. I was like, I want to go to bed. I ain't got time to deal with y'all. I put it back on there the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, it was the same deal. It was sold.
I think if I
Gone.
come across this barbells in Walmart again at $1 a pound, I might go ahead and pick them up and try that out.
Or the yard sales, man. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking at the yard sales. Though, I don't know, man. I'm selling crappy weight looking. Like, this stuff don't even look that great. And I'm selling it. Or it's doing good. I'm not saying I'm trying to sell crap, but
Right.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, okay. So my hot for the night is actually seasonal, sort of like Gary. It's Halloween costumes. If you can come across some good, gently used Halloween costumes, preferably still in some sort of packaging, they will sell. My personal story is I picked up 5, all at a Valley Rescue Mission, and they had them for $3.13 a piece. And I listed them last weekend, and I sold 3 of them within 3 days. So people are out looking for Halloween costumes right now.
Is it just any Halloween costume in general, or is it like a certain like Marvel or like a comic book type?
Let's see. One was a Chewbacca outfit.
Oh, yeah.
One was a Robin, like Batman and Robin. And
someone's going as Batman's sidekick. I'm sorry. I think that's funny.
And I'm sorry, I can't remember the third one right now. But it was more of a generic one. I just can't remember it right now off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Oh, cool,
so
man.
today I picked up for half price, I picked up a Michonne for $4. I picked up from The Walking Dead. It was a cloak. It was a Michonne cloak.
That's cool.
But it had extras that whoever used this or wore this had made extras, like a bloody bandana and a foam dagger, and they put them in the bag with it, even though they weren't supposed to come in the bag. Like it was, so it's plus accessories, right? So I went ahead and picked it up because I'm going to at least sell it for the same price everybody else is selling theirs for, but maybe mine will sell first because it's got these accessories. So, but yeah, they're hot right now and they're selling pretty quick.
Actually, that reminds me, I've had it for a few years now, believe it or not. A buddy of mine gave me a Boba Fett costume to sell with the mask and everything like that. I need to throw that up there. I've never listed it. He just gave it to me to sell, but I guess now would be the time, especially with the Mandalorian being as popular as it is. So
now is the time. Definitely. Yeah. All right. Well, round table. Have you got a not item, Gary?
Yeah, and again, it's sort of general. It's not going to be one very specific brand, but it is going to be general. And I'm going to say it's going to be out of season sports. And what I mean by this is like, all right, if a sports league has finished, the NHL just finished. Baseball is about to finish. By the way, go Braves, going to the NLCS. So that's pretty awesome.
Yep. Jordan guys.
Yep. So that's pretty
Sweep
cool.
them.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if they can stop the Braves this year, right? So, but
Dodgers might have a chance.
They're tough. They are tough, but we'll see. But yeah, the NBA is actually finishing up as well. So now I'm going to say this with a caveat: if it's a team that is still in it, if they haven't finished, like hockey is finished, right? But the NBA still has Lakers and the Heat in it, right? Baseball still has a few teams left in it. If it's one of those teams, then yeah, their items are still going to be selling pretty well. If the Yankees make the World Series, then pick up Yankees stuff. If the Braves make the series, pick it up. Anything. If you find a LeBron jersey, Lakers jersey, pick it up. Of course. But any out of season sports, once they go out of season, you're probably going to be sitting on those items for a while. Not saying they won't sell, but just if you're looking to do quick flips, stick with things that are in season right now. The NFL, college football, anything like that is going to be a good seller right now.
We got any Alabama fans? I picked up a brand new Alabama Universal Remote.
No Alabama fans here.
Carolina Gamecock fan.
Yeah, see, and this is War Eagle country out here. So.
And I'm a dog, so
yeah, dog. Speaking of dogs, man, I got like a bunch of Georgia Bulldog golf bags, man. I got them for free, and I just sold one for $50.
I'm listening.
Adam will get with you after the show.
I might need to get with you after the show.
If you were in South Carolina right now, I'd give you one. But I
have nothing to do this weekend.
I got says the SEC on it, and I got them for free. But I sold one for $50, and I got 2 more to go. I'm just
Awesome, dude.
getting them out,
That's
getting
pretty
them,
cool.
get all this negativity out of my house. I'm kidding. As long as they beat them Tigers, man, I'm good. But I don't know if we're going to be seeing any of that this year.
Yeah, they did beat them Tigers.
Speaking of South Carolina, I learned something yesterday, and I never really looked this up, but so I was watching this little sports documentary. Just it's whatever it flips through on YouTube for me sometimes when I'm working, but it was Ronnie Sunshine Bass from Remember the Titans. Remember that guy?
Yeah, I ain't talking about.
He played at South Carolina. He played at
Did?
South Carolina. He sure did.
No way.
Yep,
I
he
did not
sure
know
did.
that.
Oh my
He-
God. I
he
gotta go
still
look that
lives-
up.
Yep, he still lives in Myrtle Beach. And his son, it's funny, his son plays high school football now at quarterback. When they showed his son sitting next to him in the interview, I was like, oh my God, he looks like Sunshine from the movie.
I gotta go look
Crazy.
that up.
Yeah, look it
Sunshine.
up. That was actually pretty cool. Ronnie Sunshine Bass. So
Nice.
from Remember the Titans, played at the University of South Carolina.
Hey guys, y'all got to give me a bathroom break.
Go
I'll be right
Go
back.
ahead. Go
Give me
ahead.
like
Right.
20
for it,
seconds.
buddy.
So these are the things with live television here. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with my not for the week. And it's funny because I hope eBay Addicts is still here. I purposefully didn't put this up here because it's contradictory to what I was just fixing to say. So eBay Addicts says the Nintendo Switch are crazy right now if you can find them, which is contradictory to what I was about to say because my not was that Nintendo Switch consoles are on the low because stock is actually starting to get back in stores. You can you can pick them up in the store for I believe $3.99 if I'm not mistaken. No, $2.99. And there are some selling on eBay, but not more than say $3.50 or $3.75. Because not all the stores have gotten their stock up like it needs to be. But when the pandemic hit back in April and in March and April and May, these things sold for $450, $500, right? So it was worth going to the store, buying one if you could find it for regular price, and then flipping it for an extra 100 to 150 to maybe 200 more. But right now, I wouldn't say go to Target. Don't go to Best Buy and buy them brand new and try to flip them on eBay to make a profit. So eBay Addicts, if you're still in the comments and you'd like to defend your comment there a little bit, I would love to hear your reasoning as to why you say Nintendo Switches are crazy right now.
It could be. I mean, he may be finding them at a certain price as well, and that could be a thing, a factor that plays into that, which I'm sure.
So what people were doing is they would go completely buy out. That's why they had to limit them to one. They had to limit them to one in the store, and you would pay full price, and they couldn't keep them on the shelf. And so Casey, my not is the Nintendo Switch. If you were planning on going to the store and buying them brand new to flip them on eBay, you're not gonna. I don't think it's a good idea.
Really?
However, eBay Addicts is contradicting me. And
I saw that earlier, and I was funny you say that. My wife, we were in Target one day, or she was, and she said, "There's 7 of them in here." I was like, "Man, get one because we're buying one for our little one for Christmas." And she's like, "You think we should get them all?" I was like, "Well, I don't like doing that too much. I'm not saying it's bad to do because I am a reseller. I don't like retail arbitrage, the basketball cards or the game systems that are new. And I'm not saying it's bad. Like, that's a good hustle. It's just not my thing." So I thought it was going to be profitable. I mean, you're saying it's not, though, Adam?
I'm saying it's not what it used to be.
No.
It was hot in April and in May. It is not really hot right now.
And you think it's because of the PS5 coming out?
No, I think it's because stores are starting to get stock back in.
Okay, yeah.
And if you can buy it for $300 in the store, yeah, you may have to go to 3 different stores to find it in stock. But that's what Google's for, right? To see if it's in stock. And then go to the one that you find it in. You're not going to flip it for $450 or $500 today. You may flip it for $350 or $375, but that's it. I don't think you can expect any more than that.
Yeah, I looked them up. I think I saw something like $360 with free shipping, something like that. And I was like, well, I mean, hell, you're losing all your money and profit on the fees. I'm like, I don't think it's going to be that. I mean, I'm not going to spend $300 to make 10 by no means.
Okay, so eBay Addicts did come back and he said the Animal Crossing is a limited edition, and if you sell
Okay.
it locally, you don't have to worry about paying eBay fees.
Yeah.
That's a good defense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very
The
good.
Animal Crossing is a limited edition. It was, again, it went off the shelves quickly, and it was maybe double the price if it was on eBay. So that's a good defense. To be specific about the Animal Crossing one, I'll give you that one.
Mhm. I think sort of to sort of give everybody this background on our hot or not. It's also going to be sometimes very specific as to what it is. There's always going to be exceptions, I think, to some of the rules that come up. It's it's one of those things, like I said, with the out of season sports. If you find a Lakers jersey, pick it up right now, right? But generally, if you find a 76ers jersey, you're going to be sitting on it probably for a little bit just because of that. So again, everything I think is relative a little bit. What's up, Joey Bada Bing? How you doing, man?
Thanks for joining us, Joey. Appreciate you dropping by, man.
Actually, I was watching his live the other day. He had some stuff that he was showing that he was able to turn and flip. So good seeing Joey. We actually chatted a little bit in your live stream.
Good deal.
Joey's man. Joey, I sent you an Instagram message, man. I don't know about no Pokemon cards, but I ended up scoring some at a yard sale, and I got this one. I think he knows a lot about Pokemon. I don't know
You hear
what
that?
it is.
We're asking for some advice from the comments here, some Pokemon card advice, and Joey is the man to ask.
Yeah, I sent you that the whatever it is, man. And I lit up a comp and someone was selling it for $100. And I was like, God, dude, I don't know about Pokemon cards out there. Comfortable even selling that for $100.
Yeah.
About to go in the junk pile.
All right. Let's talk about our last segment. I don't even think it may be a surprise for both of y'all, but we're gonna go into our pick of the week. So we like to, if we have it, show off our pick of the week. And this week's pick of the week comes from me. And I have to tell you this tale of a yard sale that I went to this past weekend. My brother-in-law and I, we got up super early. There were four community yard sales going on just right down the street from each other. And we probably spent a good 5 hours and hit over a dozen different yard sales. At one of them, I came across this little old lady who's had some items in a box, and they were all still wrapped in the plastic. And this was one of those items. Vintage jockey underwear.
Really?
From
What?
1983. I don't know if I can get close enough for you to read it,
Dude.
but
my
vintage
God.
jockey boxer short underwear from 1983. You can see here on the original tag, they only cost her $4 back in 1983.
What's the? I'm so curious to know what that goes for.
All right. I paid $1 for them. They are selling for $35 plus shipping.
Wow.
The reason why this is my pick of the week isn't because I found one pair, but I found 6 pair in all.
So that's 35.
So that's roughly $180 in profit off of $6 worth of vintage underwear.
That's strong, dude. That's
and that is
strong.
why it's my pick of the week.
I mean,
there.
I know vintage clothing sells well. I'm actually shocked that someone would pay that much for a pair of underwear that is, and I'm not 40 years old, almost 40 years old. I was born in 1980, right? So I mean, those underwear were made when I was 3 years old, and somebody kept them around.
That's why somebody wants to buy them, man.
There was one other listing of these exact type, and I'm gonna undercut that by maybe $1 or $2. So maybe I'll get only maybe $32 per pair, but still.
All
right. That lady, I ended up spending $20 at that particular yard sale, and I picked up more than just that jockey boxer shorts. But in all, that $20 is I'm going to be able to stretch out to about $250.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sounds good. Only knew. Yeah, I bet it's.
Yeah.
I had to pick up the whole
And she thought she was getting her money's worth because they were old, because Who wants these? Is what she was thinking. You know?
I'm surprised you didn't talk her down to a quarter a piece.
Yeah, I probably could have,
Be
but
honest.
I
I
was
mean,
happy with
what's a
20. Why
buck
get
compared to
stingy?
that, right? Yeah.
I'd take them off your
that?
hands.
Yeah. She wanted 25. I asked her if she'd take 20. She said yes. I hit the road. I said, "Here's your 20. Let's get out of
I
here.
would have never known that.
Don't change your mind."
Yeah,
Pretty good.
and for those watching our show, I know that there's a bunch of people on here that are already in the eBay game and the picking game. Obviously, that's probably why you're here. But for anybody who is,
Yes, only new.
only sell the new underwear that's old.
Yeah, I
otherwise,
saw that
otherwise,
comment.
I tell you,
Yeah.
I've got a gold mine in my dresser right now. But for those that are watching our show, that it's maybe you're curious about this, or you watch the repeat of it, or it's don't turn your back on anything. I think that's one of the lessons that you can take away from this, is that there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think has value, especially to that level, and it really, really does. There's the old saying that says one man's trash is another man's treasure, and that's absolutely true in these cases, especially with yard sales. So,
Cayce, I think this comment was for you about those Pokemon cards you were asking Joey about.
Yeah, I don't know what the year. I think it was
1999 best cards to get.
This
All right.
2016.
So look for the year on the Pokemon cards, 1999, according to Joey Bada Bing 22, and y'all remember that.
Oh, I'm remembering.
All right.
I threw away a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards that I had when I was in high school. So we're probably talking about 96, 97, and 98 in that range. And it's funny because I think I donated them to Goodwill. I think they ended up in a box. And whenever, my wife and I got married, it was like, I guess she thought I was homeless, whenever we got married and I didn't have anything. But I did. And so it's like, okay, you got a bunch of stuff. We don't have a place for it. So it's got to go somewhere. And to be honest, they may still be around somewhere, but I don't remember them when we moved this last time. So who knows?
If they didn't make the move. They didn't make it. They're gone.
It may have been a box that never got unpacked from the first move.
It's excellent.
So, we'll see.
Well, it is almost 10 o'clock. I think it's about time to wrap it up. We've been going on for almost an hour and a half now. And Cayce, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight and telling your story about how you made your jump into the full-time resale. Ladies and gentlemen who are still sticking with us, hang on till next week. Or no, not next week. In 2 weeks, we will have the Bearded Thrift Machine on our show to tell his story as well. Thanks so much, Cayce, Gary.
Cayce,
I hope y'all have a good night.
Oh, you too, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
All right.
Excellent.
Anytime you want to come back and tell more success stories, just let us know. We'd be more than happy to have you back on. This has been great conversation and giving us a lot of insight into things like golf clubs and the jump from part-time into a full-time gig. And we're happy to hear that you're having such good success at it.
Appreciate it, man. You guys are a load of fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. I need to make a trek up to South Carolina to find me a Georgia Bulldogs golf bag.
All free.
Why would you want that? Why don't you?
I don't know.
Sell it to him cheap.
To everybody who's still with us in the chat, I really appreciate y'all coming out here and hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe. And we've also put Cayce's The Carolina Hustlers link to his YouTube channel in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to him as well. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
One more thing before we sign off, Adam. Cayce, where can we find you on the socials?
You talking about for Instagram or
Instagram, Facebook, anything like that?
I'm on Facebook. Facebook. You just type in my name, Cayce Cruz. Instagram's gonna be Carolina Hustler.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any. That's like 843 behind it. Of course, here on YouTube, and I think that's my only socials. After watching The Social Dilemma, I don't know if I want to do any more social media.
Totally understand. Totally understand.
Watch that movie. Watch that show, man. You're gonna come back and say, "Oh my god."
Just want to bury your phone after that.
Exactly.
Hey, man, real quick, for y'all get off of y'all's the not thing. I'll take 2 seconds to tell you, DVD VHS combos, do not buy those.
Oh
no, man. I swear to God, them things jump. Anyway, I won't.
Defend it. Defend it. Go.
Y'all try to end the show. My wife's texting me, blowing me up. But I'm just saying, it's 50-50, man. It will get you in trouble.
Make sure it's the right brand.
I'll still buy them, but I mean, God, dog, it'll be one out of 100. So I don't know. I had it in my head when you were gonna do that.
As bad as Disney VHS tapes, I'm sure. You know,
Yeah, the Black Diamond.
the Black Diamond Disney VHS tapes that people were laundering money through. Apparently, so they
Oh
were
my
selling for a
God.
lot of money, and I can't make $1 on these things. So,
Yeah, like a Cheeto. You ever looked up a Cheeto?
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Oh yeah. We've done Cheetos
Oh,
before.
the Cheeto. Yeah. We did that as a game one time.
I know y'all trying
Yeah.
to get off
Crazy.
Cheeto and get off subject, I guess.
Well, everybody out there, I hope y'all have a good time picking and stay safe. Thanks so much.
All right.
Come back in 2
Thanks,
weeks.
everyone.